The sun shines not on us, but in us. The rivers flow not past, but through us. John Moore. As the snow melts and the days grow longer, there's a shift. A gentle pull towards something new. We feel it, like the sunlight filtering through the trees, asking us to let go of what's heavy and make room for something new. Spring has come to the north, or at least fall spring, and with it a burst of energy and a new outlook on life. I struggle creatively during the winter. I always have. Every year my creative output during January and February are at their lowest. There have been years I don't complete a single project during those months, but now with YouTube, I've been putting out videos every week regardless of how I feel. I'm super proud of myself for pushing through.
It's hard to remember on days like this that tomorrow night it's supposed to snow 7 to 9 inches. Yikes. It'll be gone, I hope. Charlie, come. So this was the first winter that I had exclusively worked from home since March of 2020. And I knew it was going to be challenging and isolating and all of those things. So last November, I came up here to this exact spot to talk about what I was going to do to stay sane over the winter. And I'm super glad I did. As the winter progressed, that video stayed in my mind as a touch point, as something to come back to and re-reference, even when the days were hard. The biggest change for me this last winter was a mindset shift. Instead of dreading the cold and snow and the wind that I knew was coming, I walked into every day asking the question, what can I do to enjoy this day to the utmost? And that's really stuck with me and helped the winter be so much more manageable. And I've noticed that this mindset shift has also drastically affected my daily quality of life. I perceive the world in a much more positive way.
I felt mentally better overall this winter than I have for years. I've been consistently noticing over the past several months that choosing my attitude has vastly improved my daily quality of life. I'm not perfect at it, none of us are, but that's part of the process of growing as a human. As a reminder, as the season is changing, it's probably time to think about getting back on those routines that you might have fallen off of over the winter or after the first few weeks of January. And if you didn't set goals or intentions for the year at New Year's, now is just as good a time as any. To quote James Clear, it's never the right time, but right now is usually the best time. And spring just makes this process a little bit easier. When spring comes, even false spring, there were no problems except where to be happiest. Ernest Hemingway. A big element for me each time I'm going into a new season is considering work-life balance. I believe work-life balance is a seasonal thing rather than a daily thing, but as I'm getting a bit older, I've started to realize it's a bit of both. My body simply can't take 15 hours a day grinding away at my computer anymore. I need to move, go to the gym, and take some time just to be. One of my favorite parts about spring is clearing out my space. The ritual of spring cleaning is so satisfying. I started this process back in January, and just now I'm putting the finishing touches on the process. Even though I've been a minimalist for over 10 years, every year without fail, I'm always able to find more things that need to be sold, donated, or recycled. Finishing the basement is absolutely freeing. It hasn't been in this level of order since I started the bathroom remodel at the beginning of July last year. And I always feel at best when I'm in control of my space, so this has just been weighing on me for months now. I'm leaving for a film shoot in California tomorrow, so I need to pack way too much equipment into a single carry-on hard case and a personal item. Let's see how that goes. This is my first travel job of the year, and I'm hoping I won't actually need to do as many of those this year. I much prefer sleeping in my own bed every night. I'm also not sure if this is just my emotional intelligence growing with me, or if I'm just getting more tired, but I can't help but feel something every day. Some interesting balance of sorrow for the things lost, joy for the things that are, and anticipation for the things to come. A sort of reverse nostalgia, if you will. This idea has been bouncing around my head a bit, and I'm sure I'm not the first one to come up with this concept. But it's this idea that even as I'm going through my days, chasing my business, exercising, doing chores, spending time with loved ones, it all feels kind of gray. Not in a bad way, but neutral. Somewhere between black and white, between horrible and incredible. But I know when I'll look back at this time in 5 or 10 years, I'll look back with a sense of nostalgia. And I think that helps me appreciate the mundane a little bit more. Okay, I'm off to Los Angeles. Wish me luck.